Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the Master of Hobbits, today joined by...
Henrik, Jan of Goose.
Yes, Henrik and I, and Brett on the side. Say hi, Brett.
Hello. It's apparently blueberry
Hello.
blueberry coffee.
Okay, I told you to say hi, Brett, though. So, what we're checking out today is a beer that we brought back from the famed Blåbær Day in Copenhagen, the day when Cantillon Blåbær is released. We got a set of Blåbær, each of us, bottles. And last year they toyed around with making beers, especially for the day, where they did the Blueberry Boy with Equilibrium. Or they did. Equilibrium did for the event, and the guys from Equilibrium were there. But this year, they wanted to ramp it up even more. So they worked with loads of American craft breweries to make blueberry-inspired beers. Equilibrium did one. Horace did one. Von Sight did one. Black Project, and Westbrook. There was more breweries involved. Yeah. But the only ones that we got in Europe because of... Three Chiefs. But the only ones we got in Europe because of fucking... I said it already, but because of COVID, was the Black Project and the Von Sight, and then the Mexican cake, or the Westbrook version. So we had to get at least this one to try when we were there. Standing there, been in line for 11 hours. To be honest, I think it was amazing this year. It was chill because we had made sure to bring some great beers. We bought one of the best beers of this year.
Yes.
Derivation 10.
We bought some amazing lambic.
We bought some amazing lambic too. We just had a great time chilling, drinking. And one of my favorite parts was Tom, my old brewmaster, who's a bit conservative. His eyes just went from craft beer's a bit too much. Whoa. Can beer be like this? Like when he had derivation 10, he was like, what the fuck, Peter? How would I ever be satisfied drinking a stout again? It was amazing to see that from a German classic trained brewmaster. Yeah. So, we just had a great time.
It was a great community. We had great weather.
Yeah, we were lucky. And we brought chairs, so we didn't have to stand. But it was a great time. So what we're checking out was is the Westbrook release for the event. And this is the Westbrook Maple... okay, let's see here. Westbrook... They call it Westbrook... You have the full name, Brett, don't you? Right there.
Yes, it's Mexican Maple Coffee Blueberry Pancake. Maple Bourbon Barrel Aged 2019.
What? Say that twice. So they call it PanCake because it's Mexican cake with blueberry. Pancake is whatever. So what it is that last year they did the Maple and Coffee Mexican cake, which was a maple syrup barrel-aged Mexican cake with coffee, but this time, very small amount of that.
With blueberry coffee.
Yeah, it was treated with blueberries and blueberry coffee. I don't know
what is blueberry coffee?
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know. Maybe it's coffee that tastes like blueberry, or maybe it's like Starbucks-style coffee that's blueberry syrup. I don't know. But they made a few bottles. I don't know how much it was released, but only, was it 80-some bottles were released in the States?
85.
85, and then it's around 90 plus, I guess, because you could get it at the bar, I guess, this drink in Denmark were released. So we got some. And a lot of people, it was also on draft, and a lot of people thought it was good on draft, but a lot of people said it was even better in bottle having it later. But I think it's also got to do with people drinking beer all day in a line.
Being drunk.
You don't have the best palate conditions to try at the end of the day. But it'll be fun to try this. So I like Mexican cake. We recently had the Bourbon version that was in double oak Woodford Reserve. So now we're going to try this one. And you've had Mexican cake too a few times.
Yes.
Have you ever had it barrel aged though? I don't think so.
I don't think so, no.
But it's a 10.5%, maybe stronger because it's in barrels. Imperial Stout. In this case, it's made with aged in maple bourbon barrels, as we said, with coconuts, vanilla, cinnamon, and habanero peppers, and coffee. And I guess this time the coffee is a blueberry coffee, and it's got blueberries. And the only way you can decipher this from the regular maple coffee version is the bluish purple.
Yeah, because it doesn't actually say anything about blueberries.
It's just the wax. It's just the wax to decipher. So it will be fun to try this. It smells a lot like blueberry.
Yes.
So pours out. What do you think, Mike?
Pitch black.
Pitch black.
Pitch black.
I agree. Not a ton of head, but usually I don't feel like Mexican cake has a shit ton of head.
No.
It's like a beige-ish film on there, but
yeah,
it looks nice. It looks like a nice Imperial Stout. It looks, like what you expect. So let's
Yeah.
check out the aroma. Okay, it's like
a lot of blueberry.
it's like it is like blueberry candy. It's not like I'm definitely getting blueberry.
I am as well. Yeah.
It's like it's very weird compared to normal Mexican cake. It's like candy blueberry notes.
Yeah.
Almost like candied maple syrupy blueberry notes. I think it's almost turning Mexican cake into a pastry stout.
Because you don't get a very like roasted or like toasted note at all.
No. I'm definitely getting coffee. Lots
Spices.
of coffee and spices. Yeah, cinnamon. But
Yes,
there's this like very vibrant blueberry thing. But it smells to me almost more like blueberry flavoring than actual blueberry. Which I'm guessing there might
But I
just
don't
like
think
some.
it smells as much as blueberries when you smell it in the glass as from a distance.
No.
Okay.
No. But
Maybe.
it's
Try
a bit like,
to taste it.
also, I feel it's a bit like a generic berry.
Yeah. A lot of
aroma.
chocolate
It
actually. Yeah.
reminds me of blueberry jam
Mm.
more than.
A lot of chocolate on the aroma too. The more you sit and smell it, and lots of. I think the more I smell it, the more I do. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is very heavy on blueberry," but the more I smell it, the more I like it, and the more I'm thinking, like, type of beer. I'm thinking like Jam the Radar from Bottle Logic, but it's just blueberries.
Yeah.
And you maybe also get a bit of the maple syrup.
Yeah, almost.
Well.
It's almost like chocolate with like a blueberry filling, a
Yeah.
spirit, like a bourbon blueberry filling. The cinnamon is a bit underplayed on the aroma, but it's big time bourbon, maple syrup, and blueberry, and then undertones of coffee. But I'm getting less vanilla and chili than I usually would get from a Mexican cake. But
It smells very different.
yeah, from a normal Mexican cake, very different. Let's try it.
Let's try it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That is a very different Mexican cake. It's almost like you crossbred Omnipollo and Dugas Anagram with a Mexican cake. It's like that like really sweet, fruity blueberry flavor, and then it just drives into like big time coffee and spice. Actually,
the spice up front.
Yeah, the interesting thing is like the blueberry is kind of overshadowing the cinnamon.
Yeah, a bit. But I also feel like the blueberries is very upfront, but then it lingers a bit, and then the aftertaste is more like you would have the Westbrook.
Second taste, I much prefer it over the first. Second taste really leads me to think of a blueberry version of Jam the Radar from Bottle Logic, but spicy. Like it's quite spicy, but it's also really fresh. It's got that fresh habanero, but actually it's actually nice. It's waked my palate up a bit because we've had a couple beers before this.
Like the spices really saved this beer, to be honest.
Yeah, because if the spice wasn't in here, it would be another pastry stout
Yeah.
with a lot of blueberry flavor
yeah.
or some kind of flavor that'd be a bit much. The coffee is a bit underplayed.
Yeah, and it's not bitter at all.
In terms of barrel, it's so fruity compared to a regular Mexican cake. But like in terms of barrel character, there's a hint of like a woodiness. But I don't think it's like fudgy caramel, like crazy and mapley. I think the big thing, I think it's really chocolatey. Actually, it's got a lot of chocolate and a lot of the blueberry. Almost like, actually, Brett, do you remember Paisley Cave Project? From Bottle Logic, it's almost
it's more like that.
It's more like that. It's almost like you took that and crossed it with a Mexican cake or something.
Chocolate blueberry brownie.
Yeah.
With spices.
Yeah.
With chilies and cinnamon.
But I was actually worried that it would be more synthetic and but
I'm pleasantly surprised by the flavor.
It's-
At first I was a bit like, huh?
What's going on
And
here?
then the second time was like, okay.
But there is
it's
a lot
Mexican
going
cake.
on.
Yeah.
There's
So you have to-
and your palate gets confused because there's so much going on. The first sip was it was because there's a lot of stuff going on as Brett just said, but the more you drink it, the more you get accustomed to it, and the more you're like, yeah, this is Mexican cake because it has like that big coconut flavor, a very nice warming chili, but the big thing, it's not briny, it's not jalapeno brine,
No.
which is one of my beefs with sometimes with Mexican cake. And then it has that, Paisley Cave Project or Jam the Radar style kind of fruit flavor. And I think for a lot of people that's not too nice because they don't like fruit in their stouts. And often I must say I do not enjoy too much. But I will say I like this more the more I drink it. Yeah. But I'm not getting a ton of coffee. I think the coffee. I think. But I don't know if they used a blueberry coffee. I don't know what a blueberry coffee is.
I would have liked a bit more bitterness from the coffee as well. Mm. But it's much more pleasant than I would have imagined it to be.
I was afraid that I would hate this, just because it's like blueberry is
But this is actually quite.
It is quite nice.
Nice, yeah.
It's like a fruity.
It grows on you.
Yeah, it grows on you. It's like a fruity take on Mexican cake, really. Mm. But as it is right now, I'm thinking like a 94, 93 is a good grade for it. It's not all the way in world class. When I just had my first sip, I was thinking 92. But the more I've sipped on it, the more I'm liking it. But I've had bitter Mexican cakes.
Mm. I think there's definitely like the bitterness is missing, and
If this wasn't spicy and dry, it wouldn't be for me. What saves is like the chili and the spice. And
yes, definitely.
The fact that the cinnamon is downplayed is amazing. Mm. It must be blueberry flavoring too. Yeah. Doesn't also say natural flavors on there. No, it doesn't say anything.
No, it doesn't say anything about blueberries.
Because cinnamon is such a dominant flavor. I mean, it is. But again, it's a 19 vintage.
Yeah.
It's from February this year, actually. If you
released
the bottle.
Yeah, okay,
bottled.
But
it's this year.
But it's the 19.
Yeah.
Okay, that they treated.
Yeah, whatever.
But it's interesting. Still, I mean, it's not.
It makes you think.
I mean, it's like the first sip we just looked at each other like.
Yeah, like
what is this?
Think if you did a mashup of Mexican cake, Paisley Cave Project, and Jam the Radar or something like that. It's in that ballpark, and like all buried Imperial stouts, a lot of people will hate this. I think. I don't hate it, but it's definitely not my favorite Mexican cake variant.
No, it's not. It's not. I've had.
But it's nice.
I've had nice from Westbrook as well, but
if it was without chili and all these other adjuncts, it would not have been for me because I think it would be too pastry-like.
I agree.
Because I don't like that too much anymore. So yeah, I think 93 is.
But it's an interesting beer. I would say I haven't.
92, 93.
Personally,
93.
I haven't had I don't have much to compare it.
I'm a bit disappointed, but I'm also not surprised. Yeah.
It could have been.
This was kind of what I expected.
It could have been worse. Still, I guess.
Yeah.
It's. I mean.
I think around 93 is good for this.
Yeah.
I bet the maple coffee version is better than this variant.
Mm. But I like the. I like the event. I like what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Okay.
What do you think in terms of grade?
I mean, I would say about the same. 92, 93.
What about you, Brett?
Kind of the same.
Yeah, it's like early 90s.
It's hard.
I think the problem for us is that this is going into a style that we're tired of. And a lot of people kind of like this.
I just would like it without the blueberry.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think I would love this much more.
If this was out without the blueberry, it would probably be a 95.
Yeah, but it's because it tastes like fake blueberry. Yeah. And that's
the one we had. I actually like the 2018 just straight up Mexican cake barrel aged bourbon.
Yeah.
I like that quite a bit more.
But this just shows why pastry is maybe not for us anymore. Because I've seen a lot of people giving it like 4.5, and they're thinking it's amazing. It's like, I think
it drowns the barrel complexity.
It does, and that's why
the coffee complexity.
Yeah, and it's one of the reasons why I'm kind of done with flavored stouts, where it's flavorings. Like the real deal, or just barrels.
Yeah. But it's still a good
We're growing up, guys. Growing up, but no, yeah, it was fun to try nonetheless. So. If you guys had a chance to try the Westbrook Mexican Cake Maple Coffee Blueberry Pancake Edition, let us know what you thought of it. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, I feel like with this, just like when we had the Trillium one, it's a nice beer and all, but I feel like there's a lot of people who's gonna go nuts over this, but I'm just not going nuts over this kind of beer anymore. It's nice, and I can see why it's nice, but I just want it, without a flavoring. So that's our 2 cents, I guess. So yeah. Let us know what you thought of this one, guys. As always, remember to comment, subscribe to the Facebook fan page, Twitter, and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about beer. And we're gonna say cheers.
Cheers, man.
And see you guys in another beer review.